Hi, my name is Mary. Today FM plays the best music in Lambasa. Today FM rocks.
My name is Thomas. I'm here in Nakasi and I like to listen to Today FM because it rocks.
My name is Milenia. Today FM rocks here in Singatoka.
My name is Alfriki and Today FM rocks here in Tavua.
My name is Mary Jane. I love listening to Today FM here in Ba. Today FM rocks.
My name is Ilay Tiambal and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
In the news tonight, Friendship Plaza saga gets unfriendly amidst confusion. Wife identifies backup water sources. And financial burdens hinder cancer treatment for children.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Smith.
More confusion tonight in the WG Friendship Plaza fiasco. Engineer Design, the company that gave the approval for the construction of the plaza on McGregor Road in the capital, has tonight provided clarification on claims being made against the construction of the building. Engineer Design's principal engineer Vijay Krishnan is adamant that all material used for the project is fit for the intended purpose, and people who are raising concerns about the project should do their research before making wild allegations. Kritika Kumar reports.
Justifying his approval for Fiji's tallest building, veteran engineer Vijay Krishnan says it's unfortunate that complainants did not talk to him.
If they had any queries or any other information that they want or any concerns, they should have just come to us and we could have resolved it.
Allegations were made by engineer Shiva Singh and Bhavesh Kumar of RC Manubhai, who wrote to the government raising concerns about the standard of material being used in the project. One of the complainants of the building maintains that substandard steel is visible from outside the building.
The steel, wasn't painted, primed or blasted, and was rusting. So how were they going to achieve fire rating on the steel? Not an idea. It's an observation made from the roadside. You could see it physically. You could see it.
However, Krishnan says this is not true and could be a case of sour grapes.
Many times, this steel is imported directly by the owners into the country under some concessions that have been allowed by the government to promote investment into the country, which is a normal process. Perhaps it's because of that they're feeling that they're missing out on some business, but there's enough work going around for everyone.
When queried further, Bhavesh Kumar revealed another reason for opposing the construction work.
How come this property had been given the go-ahead when the conversion of the lane from residential to commercial hadn't still happened?
However, Bhavesh Kumar's official complaint only referred to the construction issue and not his real estate concerns. The other complainant, Shiva Singh, who refused on-camera interview, referred all queries to the Suva City Council. Meanwhile, local government minister Parveen Kumar has waded into the controversy, saying the panel that looked into the complaint, consisting of Srinivas Singh, Sanjay Kaba and Warren Yee, is now recommending that an overseas independent consultant look into the matter. Sanjay Kaba had advised FBC News to call the Suva City Council for further details, but the council did not respond to our queries. Meanwhile, work continues at the project site despite Bala claiming a stop work order has been issued to the developer by the Suva City Council. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
As the dry spell continues, the Water Authority has identified water sources which could assist in the coming months if the current sources dry up. This as out of the 45 water sources nationwide, 19 have reached critical level. Pranita Prakash reports.
The prolonged dry spell has affected the water sources in the Northern Division greatly.
So out of the 17 sources that we have in the Northern, 8 has been has reached up to critical level. In the Western Division, of the 14, 5 have reached the critical, and in the Central and Eastern, out of the 14, 6 has reached a critical stage.
The authority has already made a contingency plan if the dry spell continues.
Those sources that has reached critical stage, we are looking at options of other sources in the nearby areas. So we putting up temporary projects to piping for these temporary water sources to get water.
Fijians living in the affected areas are being assisted through water cutting.
We've delivered around 14 million liters of water, 40 million liters of water. That's around 40 megaliters. And with that, we're expecting or anticipating that it will increase in the next few months if rain doesn't fall for these affected areas.
The authorities says the teams have been constructing coffer dams to store water downstream. Water tanks have also been placed at strategic locations in affected areas. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
The treatment process for a child diagnosed with cancer can cost thousands of dollars and impose financial burdens on families unable to afford it. Today, 2 parents of a child diagnosed with leukemia and kidney cancer share their experience on how difficult it is to come to terms with a life-threatening illness. Kelly Vavala reports.
The diagnosis of cancer in a child can be a devastating blow to parents. 2-year-old Rishabh Lal was diagnosed with leukemia and his parents remain positive for his recovery since they learned of his worrying condition.
Sometimes he got fever, I take him to the CWM hospital. And the doctor said I take him the blood test for him. And now it's continue for chemo for my son. And the treatment start give to 5 years now.
Another child who was diagnosed with the disease is 4-year-old Alice Ravovo. Even though she is now 99% free from cancer, her family continues with their support.
We thought that everything will come to an end when she's been diagnosed with cancer. We can't do anything. We prayed for her. We stayed by her side.
Whilst Kids Fiji says cancer is an instant crisis that can affect a family mentally and financially.
We're looking at a minimum of 5,000 a year, or it could be more for some. And if financial burden or stress is thrown into the mix, it can be too much for anyone to handle.
Approximately 70 children in the country are diagnosed with cancer, with the oldest just being 16 years old and the youngest about 11 months. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
The Catholic Church of Fiji has ordered an investigation into its Women's League after claims of abuse of funds. Vicar General Father Suluo Turangakavivi exclusively told FBC News the claims were brought to the attention of Archbishop Father Peter Loy Chong during a meeting with the Women's League in Taviuni last week. Father Turangakavivi says the investigation is currently underway. Meanwhile, Catholic Women's League advisor Father Timothy Kolondisi confirms the current committee has been suspended and an interim committee has been appointed pending investigation. Kolondisi says the allegations were brought up after some discrepancies were found in the utilization of close to $202,000 that was allocated by the women in Namosi last year. He says from the total amount collected, about $21,000 was allegedly misused.
In regards to the abuse of funds, and fortunately the Judge Bishop assisted them and led them in the meetings to deliberate and, on that very important matters.
Still to come, Accident Compensation Commission becomes proactive and DFL urged to look at infrastructure and innovation. Details after the break.
Bula neva ngo malakai leloma ngo ngai nakas ondo magrong na Bula FM nambandu ay na sere.
Hoya ubasit sai lambasa ya ondo talita ina warong na Bula FM nambandu ay na sere.
Gua do tumeli ako na tao no hinga toka talita kina na warong na Bula FM nambandu ay na sere.
Wana tunga na Bula FM nambandu ay na sere nawaluan.
Na vengo fani na tao ngo singa toka kita ondo talita kana Bula FM nambandu ay na sere.
Bula FM nambandu ay na sere.
Fiji now has tsunami sirens. 10 sirens have been installed between the Suva and Lami corridor by the National Disaster Management Office. Catherine Krishna reports these sirens will help the authorities give advance notice to Fijians when there is a tsunami warning.
Emergency evacuation is required. Follow evacuation route instructions.
The tsunami sirens were tested today between the Suva and Lami corridor.
The coverage is about 1,500 meters, 1.5 kilometers, concentric to
to the unit. So they positioned a total of 8 on the peninsula, all of which are overlapping.
It took the Comtech Communications Technology 6 months to complete the installation. During a tsunami warning, the sirens will go on with an automated voice giving instructions to the public. The public has welcomed the initiative, saying it has come at the right time with earthquakes becoming more frequent.
I want to thank the government for being able to provide this warning for us so that we can be aware of disasters like tsunami.
I think the siren is good because it will help us, especially those living along the coastal areas.
Our school is really close to the sea, and like when we hear the siren, it's really easy for us to get evacuated.
More tsunami sirens will be installed in other coastal areas around the country in the coming months. Catherine Krishna, FBC News.
The Accident Compensation Commission FIJI is taking proactive measures in contacting families and victims who are involved in accidents. Chief Executive Parvez Akbar says they also monitor the mainstream media for accident reports and follow up with families from there on. Felipe Naikaso reports.
The Accident Compensation Commission believes more needs to be done to raise awareness on their services.
We try and proactively find people to assist them, so we don't sit back and wait. So whenever we see reports of an incident or an accident in the media, for example, and then we try and contact the family. We get in touch with the police, we try and get in touch with the family and proactively assist them.
Parvez Akbar says the maximum time for an applicant to receive a compensation payout can be 18 months. He says they have to scrutinize all applications before making a decision.
Compensation that's given, we apply that consistently. So the approach we're taking and the policy we take, or the philosophy, is that every life is worth the same from our perspective.
FBC News also spoke to a few people on the work carried out by the Commission.
It's really good because it will really help the victim's family.
Before it was very hard to get the money from the third-party insurance, and now it's easy for the family.
6 families have now been compensated for the loss of their loved ones, and so far 4 other applicants have been made on behalf of victims who passed away in road accidents. Felipe Naikaso, FBC News.
Economy Minister Aya Said Qayyum has urged Energy Fiji Limited to invest more in its infrastructure. Said Qayyum says infrastructural development is vital in running a modern nation like Fiji. Ali Kimbia reports.
Speaking to the staff of Energy Fiji Limited, the minister highlighted an area which EFL should work on.
You don't have a redundancy line from Nandari Batu into Suva and into Vunda. You need to have a redundancy line. If one line goes out, the other one should be able to pick up on it.
Said Qayyum says the company must look at new innovation. However, transparency is important for more development.
Adherence to ensuring that we don't have corruption, we have high levels of transparency, to be able to do a JV with a French company and actually be able to get business interests outside of Fiji.
For EFL, coping up with the evolving technologies will be a challenge.
And how well we position EFL in this changing environment will be the point of difference for us, and indeed will determine whether we exist as an organization or not.
Over 700 staff received their performance bonus of over $1 million. Said Qayyum has also encouraged EFL to make use of the enormous opportunity to grow in the region. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
Australia and New Zealand have signed and passed the Bill of Exchange Declaration during the 49th Pacific Island Forum in Nauru. Nauru's President Baron Wanga says it has been a constructive forum where climate change and security issues top discussions. Wanga says they also discussed new issues since the last Bikitawa Declaration in 2000. The Pacific Island Forum ended today.
Since then, we've included so many security issues regarding human, regarding climate change and cyber security, and many more.
In sports later with Jamie, International Futsal Championship pools drawn, but up next is Rachel with business.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening, and coming up after the break. New accounting deal to benefit local businesses. And in growing Fiji, over 2,000 families to benefit from new housing development. Stay with us.
Dala, I am Eleanor. For the best classic hits, I only listen to Gold FM here in Singapore. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Seni Rawa. I love listening to Gold FM here in Surrey. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Dino. I'm from Outrigger, Coral Coast, Singapore. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Salote. I love listening to Gold FM here in Surrey. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Bula, my name is Marida. Gold FM plays the best classics here in Outrigger, Singapore.
Gold FM, only the classic.
In business tonight, Ali Pacific, a chartered accountant and business advisor firm in Suva, has formed a new partnership with PKF International, a global network of accountancy firms. The partnership will enable Ali Pacific to access a wider pool of resources to provide the best advice to businesses. The global accountancy firm provides world-class and clear solutions in assurance, advisory, taxation and business services for companies around the world. There will be 2 PKF Ali Pacific offices in the country. Wow, Kids Fiji today received a check of more than $14,000 from Digicel. The money will be used as treatment expenses for children diagnosed with cancer. Digicel's Fiji Chief Executive Mike Gregg says they want to give back to the community and their staff contributed generously.
Every dollar counts, and if it goes towards supporting parents who are struggling, who are going through a very difficult time in their lives with their children, then I'm very pleased that we did that.
And we now join Sharon from HFC Bank with the latest from the money markets.
Global equities remained under pressure, with stocks in Asia down for the 6th day. Investor confidence is subdued amid emerging market turmoil and concerns over the US-China trade conflict. Overnight on Wall Street, the S&P 500 lost 0.3% and the Nasdaq Composite dropped 1.2%. The Dow Jones was the rare bright spot, up 0.1%. The US dollar, which is considered a safe haven in times of turmoil because of its status as the world's reserve currency, was generally benefiting from these trade uncertainties. It has gained 8% since end of March. Closer to home, Australia's trade surplus narrowed marginally in July. It fell to $1.55 billion in seasonally adjusted terms. The exports fell by 1%, while imports held steady. And that's all the latest from HFC Bank for this week. Vinaka.
Taking a look at the currency exchange rate set this morning for the Fijian dollar, our dollar rose against the US dollar, the Aussie dollar, as well as the PNG Kina and the Japanese yen, but lost ground against the yuan, the Kiwi dollar and the euro. As for the commodities market, the price of oil continued downwards, closing at just above $68.50 per barrel. Gold went back on the rise to close at $1,199 an ounce, and silver closed up at $14.21 an ounce. And in growing Fiji tonight, the new Davi level housing project in Nassori will provide a wide range of housing options. The $32 million project will be able to accommodate more than 2,000 families when finished, Savaratambua reports.
The development that will be done in 2 phases covers 130 acres of land.
Initially, phase 1 will have all the connections of roads and the sewerage and water getting down to the main system. So once that is connected, phase 2 will just automatically connect into this.
The people will have options to choose from. Housing Authority will be constructing strata units and duplex homes. The people can also buy the lots to build their own homes. The subdivision will also include commercial lots.
I'm happy about this development because it is close to Nassori town, and everything will be available like taxi bays and commercial center as well.
It's good for the public and the price is very cheap.
Many people finding renting very expensive nowadays, and with this new development it brings relief to many of them.
Housing Authority General Manager Land and Housing Development Isikeli Nawunda says people are already sending applications.
The issue here, we have mixed development here. So it's a mixture of low-end housing, middle, and a few high-end housing as well.
There will be 560 single lots, while 2 sites have been allocated for strata housing to accommodate 300 to 500 units. Savaratambua, FBC News.
that's a wrap from the business desk for tonight. Jamie joins you now with sports.
Thank you, Rachel, and good evening. Up ahead in sports, Siruvakula makes changes to run-on team against Brisbane City. Courts IDC pools drawn. This and more coming up.
Hi, I'm Jyotishma. I'm from Singatoka. I love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM is #1.
I'm Charlene Robert. Mirchi FM rocks in Lambasa.
I'm Soname Nasari Jackson. Mirchi FM is hot.
My name is Raymond Dutt. I'm in Babu Singh Alliance. Mirchi FM is hot in Lambasa.
I'm Pritika from Jax Nasori. I love listening to Mirchi FM here in Nasori. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Fiji Airways Ndrua coach Senirusi Siruvakula has made 4 changes to his run-on side to face Brisbane City in the second round of the Australian National Rugby Championship on Saturday. Flying Fijians Tueli Vetayaki, Ratunaisa Navuma and Moses Ndudivaki have been given the task to lead the Ndrua's first half charge against an opposition keen on attacking the Ndrua's set piece. Penny Rendre earns a start at loose forward with Filimoni Seru out of the 23 making room on the bench for Chona Saiwalu. Meanwhile, the Ndrua will bank on its experienced forward pack against Brisbane City. Coach Senirusi Siruvakula believes the opposition is keen on attacking their set piece and will be counting on his forwards to stand their ground. Mili Tabanga reports.
Siruvakula says they need to be ready for a focused attack from Brisbane City.
Those were on the bench last week. They are on the run on this week, and the back line is not. There's no change there. In the back in the bench, there's a lot of the rest of the guys that are knocking on the doors. It depends on how those guys are performing. If they're doing okay, and then it's hard for these the young ones and some of the guys who are part of the squad. But there's a lot of competition here within the position.
The Ndrua and Brisbane City clash at 3 p.m. at Churchill Park in Lautoka on Saturday. Meli Tavanga, FBC Sports.
It was a battle between Pacific football arch rivals last night at ANZ Stadium in Suva when Fiji took on the Solomon Islands, while the visitors found the net first. Vodafone Fiji football captain Roy Krishna managed their goal in the second half that evened out the score and left both teams without bragging rights. Vasnil Prasad reports.
The Bonitos looked smart as Auckland City-based striker Mika Lealafa scored the goal in the 22nd minute of the first half.
Look through, and that's the first goal for the Solomon side.
And for me, I feel as if we could have won the game. We could have killed the game after 20 minutes.
Fiji's wonder boy Roy Krishna then equalized in the second spell after a foul by Benjamin Totori on Dave Randringai.
He takes the kick and does equalize. And the Fiji fans are celebrating.
I think we made ourselves tougher. I know we started off really well, and after 10 minutes, 15 minutes, when they scored, we lost our basic.
For the Fiji national side.
England-based Kotwara, who made his debut from the bench and played as a central midfielder, says it was a great feeling to represent Fiji.
I believe we came out with a target, and I believe that we could have done more.
The team has shifted camp to Dubai and will travel to Singapore on Saturday to play its second international match next week. Vasnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
Pools for the Courts Inter-District Championship were drawn today with teams evenly distributed in the Premier Division. Fiji Football Association President Rajesh Patel says with a bigger prize purse up for grabs, he expects the teams to perform to their level best. Vasnil Prasad reports.
The countdown for the 80th Courts Inter-District Championship begins as the reigning champions Lautoka takes in charge of Group A with Ba, Lambasa and Nasinu, while Suva leads Group B with Nandi, Rewa and Raketi or Tavua.
Prize money for Premier Division is $20,000 to the winner, and for the Senior Division is $7,000 to the winner, and we have announced it, and this is something that's very exciting for the districts to fight for.
The newly promoted Nasinu is confident of a good outing despite being in the pool of death.
Looking at the pool of death, we have a good pool. We have Lautoka, Ba, Lambasa, and yes, we want to prove the fans, the public, that Nasinu is here to stay.
The IDC takes place from the 5th to the 10th of October at ANZ Stadium in Suva. Bashnir Prasad, FBC Sports.
8 teams will compete in the 2018 Vodafone International Futsal Championship, which starts next Wednesday at the FMF Gymnasium in Laudala Bay. 2 pools have been drawn, with Fiji Southern, the only team representing Fiji. Hooker FC 1 and Hooker FC 2 are the 2 teams from Vanuatu, while the Solomon Islands will be represented by 3 teams. The other 2 teams competing are USP Solomon and USP Vanuatu.
Players playing regularly on the district leagues that we organized here in the Southern Division. So we're giving opportunity for players to play in the international stage and also give them a taste of how international matches are like.
24 coaches from around the country are currently undergoing a Level 1 International Volleyball Federation accredited coaching clinic at the Fiji Association of Sports and National Olympic Committee office in Suva. The clinic is being facilitated by Susan Gozanski, a former head coach at the University of California, Riverside, USA. The Level 1 course focuses on developing coaches' teaching practices for youth and grassroots players.
I think it always depends on the organization that you have that's developing coaches and developing players from a young age, and then certainly the potential exists to be very successful.
The 3rd leg of the ITTF Oceania Tour was launched today at the Fiji Broadcasting Corporation office in Suva. The tour is a 6-series tournament played in 6 different countries in the region, with Fiji hosting the 3rd leg. FBC has signed on as the major sponsor of the tournament, which will be held at Suva's FMF Gymnasium on Saturday and Sunday. ITTF Oceania President Anthony Ho says the competition will also be a qualifier to bigger tournaments.
The ITTF Oceania Tour is a qualification event for the Oceania Cup. And the Oceania Cup is the qualification event for the World Cup, where the winner of the Oceania Cup in the men's and women gets to represent Oceania in the World Cup at the end of the year.
In today's Play of the Day, we take a look at how Serena Williams executes 3 untouchable aces in final game to roar into the US Open semi-finals. Williams put aside some early shakiness and an early deficit, turning things around with an 8-game run en route to a 6-4, 6-3 victory over number 8 seed Karolina Pliskova. That's it from sports tonight. Join Angie later on with weather. And in the world of the weird and the wonderful, tourists visiting Florence, Italy could face fines for eating on certain streets. Details coming up.
Narang golesenia, Obama kita nakas, dorong-rong bina kape, on radio fijuan, nandong ibit.
Ayaw benyana, kita barong na radio fijuan, nandong ibisi, hindi natoka.
Guado ilaisa ingatoka, rong-rong bina na heramakawa ina radio fijuan ingatoka.
Radio Fijuan, nandong ibiti.
In new media, this Swedish startup company is a true Kickstarter success story, having launched the world's first true wireless earbuds. It's weather time now with Angie.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. Such a fantastic Thursday with a mixture of sun and showers. It's the long weekend and I might have the best news for you if you have some plans for the happy holidays. But for now, taking a look in the west, it's been a sunny day with scattered clouds. Eastwards from Pack Harbour to Suva, sunshine cleared bands of showers. And up north, after a few light drizzles, it was settled. At sea, southeast winds 10 to 15 knots, moderate seas. For the tides, high tide at 4:40 a.m. with low tide at 11:06 a.m. Sunrise at 6:08. For tomorrow, you might be wondering what good news I was talking about earlier on. Well, my friends, the weather is as excited as you are. It will be pretty clear for a swim. Tomorrow's temps, Lambasa will rise up to 32 degrees. Great time to spend at Korvatu Beach. And looking further on to Saturday, the clear channel is expected. And that's all from the FBC Weather World. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. In Fiji and Pulse tonight, we asked, should the license of bogus surveyors be cancelled?
Yes, they should be taken to task and the license should be cancelled because they are doing the wrong things, because they are just using up the taxpayers' money.
Yes, I think their license should be cancelled because if it's legal and if their licenses are expired, then I think they should be taken to task for the work that they're doing.
First of all, these contractors shouldn't be getting the license.
Yes, I think their license should be cancelled if they are caught doing this illegal survey.
Yes, definitely, because as a public, we are suffering every day, isn't it? So what I think is that if someone is cheating you, you won't feel good, eh? So their license should be, taken off.
In the world of the weird and the wonderful, a new law in Florence, Italy prohibits tourists from enjoying street food on some of its streets. Break the rule if you could face a fine of over $500. Recapping the main stories for tonight, Friendship Plaza saga gets unfriendly amidst confusion. Wife identifies backup water sources, and financial burdens hinder cancer treatment for children. Now for these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question this week, we're asking, should those found responsible for corrupt practices at government dispensaries be prosecuted? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, our shot of the day sent in by Sarah Mbani-Vanua, the beautiful picnic spot in Pacific Harbour, Diumba, which many of you would like to visit during your long weekend. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was the FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, have a safe and enjoyable long weekend. Bye for now.
मैं नवनीत नंद नंबुआ लुम्बुआ से। जैसे ट्रेनी नॉर्थ मशहूर है, वैसे रेडियो FIJI 2 भी सभी जगह मशहूर है। रेडियो FIJI 2 देश की धड़कन।
सीमा नकाशी से मैं रेडियो FIJI 2 पसंद करती हूँ सुनने के लिए। रेडियो FIJI 2 देश की धड़कन।
मैं हूँ अंकल किंग सिंगाटोका टाउन के टैक्सी ड्राइवर। जैसे रग्बी फेमस है, वैसे रेडियो FIJI 2 फेमस है।
रेडियो FIJI 2 देश की धड़कन।